what we really learned last night is that the Conservatives are in deep, deep trouble as the next election approaches. Hi, my name is Keiran Pedley, Director of Politics at Ipsos, and I'm going to take you through the results from last night's by-elections. So what happened, what do we learn, and what comes next? By now you will know that what happened was that the Conservatives held Uxbridge and Ruislip, whereas the Labour Party took Selby and Ainslie, and the Liberal Democrats took Somerton and Frome. But what do we take from some of these results? Well, in Uxbridge and Ruislip, that was something of a surprise because the national opinion polls point to a swing of 15 to 17 points from Conservative to Labour, whereas the swing here was only 7 points. So it looks like Uxbridge and Ruislip was a referendum of sorts on ULEZ, a tax on high emissions vehicles extended to the area by Labour Mayor Sadiq Khan. Unpopular in the area, and it seems to have helped the Conservatives hold that seat. But that's where the good news ends for the Conservatives last night. In Somerton and Frome, Liberal Democrats took their 4th seat in by-elections off the Conservatives this Parliament with a swing of 29 points. And in Selby and Ainslie, the Labour Party got a swing of 24 points or thereabouts from the Conservatives, which is reminiscent of the types of swings that Tony Blair's Labour Party were getting ahead of their 1997 landslide victory. So what do we learn? Well, from the Conservatives' perspective, they'll be heartened that they were able to hold on to Uxbridge. Now, and whilst ULEZ itself will not be an issue nationally at the next general election, they'll be hoping that they can find some other issues that allow them to have a referendum on the Conservatives versus Labour at the next general election, rather than a referendum on the Conservatives' record in government over the last 13 years, which, at least at the moment, is not something that is viewed favourably by the public. The challenge for Rishi Sunak and the Conservatives will be how to make that happen. That being said, what we really learned last night is that the Conservatives are in deep, deep trouble as the next election approaches. On the one hand, they face something of a pincer movement between the Liberal Democrats on one side and the Labour Party on the other, taking seats from the Conservatives in different areas of the country. And as I've mentioned, the swing from the Conservatives to the Liberal Democrats and Labour last night indicates that the national polls are correct in at least that the Conservatives are in deep trouble. For the Labour Party's perspective, they will want to build on their success in Selby and Ainslie to show that they are ready for government. There have been some doubts about Labour this Parliament, but they will want to be able to show that they do have the right plans for office, particularly as there's more scrutiny as a Labour government looks more and more likely. From the Liberal Democrats' perspective, they'll be heartened by 4 by-election gains from the Conservatives this Parliament, but those were in by-elections where turnout is lower, and they will want to make sure that they can deliver seats at general elections and not just by-elections. So as we look ahead to the next general election, all of the parties have something to play for, and we should always bear in mind as well that Scotland and Wales didn't vote too. So we'll have to keep a close eye on the polls with Ipsos as that election approaches.